Hi, good evening, everybody. This is Kenya Rockman, founder and author of the Child Support Hustle. Hope you all are doing well this evening. I'll give it just a couple seconds to see if anybody comes on. And I want to put what I'm going to be talking about in the comments, if I can. Here we go. The links of what I'm going to be talking about. I'm give it just a couple more seconds. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing all right. I usually can see when people come on, I can see their names, but okay, now I'm seeing hi, George. So I wanted to say hi when you came on. How are you this evening? I hope you can hear me okay. How's everybody doing? Well, I hope. Okay. First, I want to thank everybody for joining me. Hi, Joseph, joining me on this live feed. Hi, Jonathan. Tonight, I wanted to talk about. I'm doing okay, Justin. Of course, I'm a little pissed off as always, as we all are. We fight for fighting this battle, fighting this machine. Child support reform, family court reform. Hi, Yvette. Thanks for tuning in. I'm all right, Jonathan. Thank you. I wanted to talk about this evening about a little bit about parental alienation, very little about that, and more about your rights at if you are being alienated from your kids, a little bit about what you can do as far as your rights to shared parenting. My research over the years has been about child support, so I have very little information and experience in the shared parenting field. Hi, Emery. I hope I'm pronouncing that correct. Thanks for joining. But the little information that I have, I wanted to share with you guys because I get messages and parents inbox me about helping them with their, hey, Rail, helping them with their custody issues. And I just don't have the knowledge to help you guys. And I'm sorry, I just don't. So I want to share with you all what I do know. And hopefully you can take that information and hopefully get to see your children. Hey, Percy, posted a video about the dad who went to go see his kids on Father's Day, and it ended up in a fight and gunshots. The kids were out there. Hi, Robert. Hi, Joseph. A foreign family court, right? And it just and that's not the only video floating around. We've seen plenty, and of course, Coco, sit. I'm sorry, guys. Sit. We've seen the videos. Where is the joke? Yeah, Eric. And I just want parents to know that there are laws on the books that can work in your favor as far as custody. I mean, shared parenting while we're trying to get reform. And this, what I'm telling you, might not work for everybody, but I'm just sharing the information. And of course, I always say this: I believe, and it's written. There's lots of information on that. The child support system itself is unconstitutional and illegal. But as we fight for reform, and we have to do things right now, and I know how parents are going through, their check is getting taken, or they're being alienated from their children. We want results right now. So this is the information I provide, is kind of to help you navigate the system right now while we fight. Hey, Eric. Hi, Chris. Thanks for joining. Okay. Recently, they were trying to ignore the fact that parental alienation is a real syndrome. And so I wanted to first acknowledge that that has recently come to surface, that that is a syndrome and it's real, even though people have been saying it over the decades. And the definition, this is from Psychology Today, parental alienation involves the programming of a child by one parent to denigrate the other targeted parent in an effort to undermine and interfere with the child's relationship with that parent, and is often a sign of a parent's inability to separate from the couple's conflict and focus on the needs of the child. Okay, and we know that it is detrimental to that child's growth, and they're putting information out every day. But we know also that they separate child support and shared parenting or custody, because there's no money, there's more money to separate the two. And I'll get to that later. Okay, so shared parenting, when we talk about that, we're referring to the flexible parenting agreement after separation or divorce, in which the parent spends at least 1/3 of the time with the parent after a divorce. Void that there's no domestic violence and both parents are fit. So everything that I talk about from now on is in the instance that both parents are fit. Hey, Danielle. Hi. Did I say Chris? Hey, Angel and Chris. Child support. Yeah, that's the issue. They do use them as pawns. There's a lot of issues, Chris. There's many issues, but for this, what I'm doing today is just, I want parents to know that you do have options, and I want you to know the limited knowledge that I have, I want to share. And I want to be able to, I wanted to put it on a video, so when I get inquiries about custody issues, I want to be able to send this video, this link, so that they can watch it and be able to click and be able to see your children. Okay. So okay, so I'm going to make these 3 points that these doctors that are proving that parental alienation is causes damage to the children. Here are 3 points that I wanted to share. Number 1, and you can use this if you're making a case. If you're making your case, most people already know this, but here are some statements by professionals about shared parenting. Shared parenting should be the norm for parenting plans for children of all ages, including very young children. So if they're saying that it's not good for the young children and they should be with the mother because their age, that has been proven not true. Number 2, shared parenting after divorce or separation is in the best interest of children's health, because the arrangement lowers stress levels, and that's from the Journal of Epidemiology and Community Health. So it's better for their health. Number 3, children's best interests are furthered by parenting plans that provide for continuing and sharing parenting relationships that are safe, secure, and developmentally responsive, and that also avoid a template calling for a specific division of time imposed on all families. And that's from the Association of Family and Conciliation Courts. Hey, hi, Andre. Hey, Vet. Hey, Joe. Yeah, you're right, Joseph. Okay, so here's some federal stats to support that information. And this is from the U.S. Center of Disease Control, the DOJ, the Department of Justice, the U.S. Census Bureau of Children. Children raised by single parents account for 63% of teen suicides. 70% of juveniles in state-operated institutions. 71% of high school dropouts. Hi, Tasha. Love you. 75% of children in chemical abuse centers. 85% in prison. 85% exhibit behavior disorders, and 90% homeless or runaway children. Those are federal stats from single parent homes. So just want to share that. So about the system. 7 out of 10 parents involved in the public child support system do not have a parenting plan. Why? Because there's no money. And this is from the National, shoot, I always forget this name. I'm going to have to Council for State Legislators. I had the link in the, in the comments. Okay, so the primary reason for no parenting plans is that the Title 4D, and you guys hear us talk about Title 4D funding all the time. It's the money that they get for every dollar that they spend on child support. They get a return on investment of whatever. And I made a chart, a presentation, if you will, of the money that they get in return. And it's changed, but the last amount for the federal government was $5.33, but they just released another report for 2017. So it's dropped, but I don't have the exact number. Hey, Quincy. Hey, Jeremy. So with this, for no parenting plans, the Title 4D of the Social Security Act, which governs the public child support system, which we know child support is a welfare recovery program, does not allow expenditures of federal money for the establishment or negotiation of parenting plans. There's no money. So they separate it. It's more money to send you to child support court and then send you to custody, you know, court to go to custody. They're getting all this money. And meanwhile, we have evidence that says that parenting, shared parenting is more beneficial for our children. So make no mistake, the child support system was never, ever created in the best interest of our children. That was never the case. And it still isn't. And until we make change, demand change, it won't be. Okay? So Congress found that, this is Congress, that increased parental access and visitation not only improve parent-child relationships and outcome, but also have been demonstrated to result in improved child support collections. It even improves collections, and they won't enforce visitation or even include it because they're not going to get any money. They know more collection, that's going to go to the child. They're not going to get a piece of that. So that creates double wins for children. This is from Congress, and those what I'm reading from, the links are in the comments I posted. So this is from the Preventing Sex Trafficking and Strengthening Families Act of 2014, and it states that states should use existing funding sources to support the establishment of parenting arrangements. Yes, they will, Kaylee. Hey, David. Hey, Stephen. Okay, so as of 2016, there was approximately $10 million that was appropriated for the Access and Visitation Program. And I put that in the links as well. There was 2 points that stuck out in this, the $10 million that this money has been appropriated for decades now. And we still have a problem with visitation being included when they make these child support orders. So it's supposed to reach low income and very low income parents. Now, I don't understand and we know that low income and very low income parents are the ones that's being arrested. Rest in peace, Felix Mannis. I'll talk about him later. It's also supposed to provide parents with accessible and low-cost services and engage and spend time with their children. It shouldn't cost money to spend time with your children, but again, the government has found a way to profitize off of being parents. You should be able to pick up your child or drive, be with your child without it costing any money. Time spent, love, emotional support, the things that children need so they don't commit suicide, end up in prison, those things. But they found a way to, again, make a dollar off of the children and parents. Okay, so currently, as of 2016, 36 states and DC have an adjustment in the guidelines for parenting time. Now, there's a report, I've spoken about it before, I've written about it. I often give parents a link to an article that I've written. So this next information that I give you all is going to be quick. The details are on the first. You're right, and it's illegal, Eric. That is illegal, and it's unconstitutional. So the National Parents Organization did a report card on the states with shared parenting guidelines, and that link is in the comments as well. And they graded everybody, every state, and all the statutes are there. So if you want to look it up and find out what your state allows, what it doesn't allow, and find out what you can go and ask the court for. I know it's terrible that you have to ask the court for anything to do with your child, but like I said, until we get reform, this is just steps that we have to take, because we already know they're not going to go out without a fight. This is a multi-billion-dollar a year industry, and they've already proven they'll break the law, they'll do whatever for this dollar. So you want to check out the NPO, or National Parents Organization report card, if you want to find out specific statutes for your state. Hey, Chuck. Okay, so the Family Support Act of 1988 mandated that all states use presumptive child support guidelines. However, Congress has not imposed a similar requirement on states for the development of presumptive parent time or visiting guidelines. Again, for the reason that I stated, no money. They don't care, David. They really don't care. So this is why we have to take it. We have to take this into our own hands. File complaints. It's time that I put out a letter every year. I ask for volunteers to send a letter out to our constituents, people running for office, people already there, people, media. Ask them to send a letter everywhere. We want to know, what are you guys going to do? And this is a perfect opportunity. I know you guys seen on social media, and I'm not taking anything away from what's going on with the immigrant children getting separated from their parents. I'm really not, but there are millions of American families being separated, parents being separated from their children here, and nobody is saying anything. And so we have to make them pay attention, because if not, they'll just brush over it like it's nothing. And the time for that, call the cops. The time for that is over. So and the momentum is here. A lot of our organizations are joining together. We're the momentum's here. We got people listening. There's everybody's getting everybody has been affected by this, but with social media, more of us are being able to link together and communicate with each other. So this is a perfect time. So hopefully we can get, I know, Shannon. So we need to get more people involved. More people need to get involved, and sometimes it's just calling your local representatives and asking them, and then letting us know here at the Child Support Hustle what your representative said. If you send an email, send us what the email said so we can post it. You know, these people do not like to have a negative, you know, if they have something negative and we have it out, they don't want to be exposed. So that's what we like to do. David, ask for a modification. I have a video on here, and you can go and check it out. If more than 10% of your circumstance has changed with your income, or your circumstances has changed, you qualify to file for a modification. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so here's a few of certain deductions that you can get in your child support order with a with visitation or shared parenting in your child support order. There's a cross credit formula. This is most common, and there's a 1.5 multiplier, and that's based on a 30% shared parenting threshold. And I go in detail, like I said in my article. It's the first link on the comment that I left. And on the YouTube, I will put those on the YouTube channel, the links. I'll try to put it on our website as well. 1.5 to, okay, I'm sorry. Let me start over. Cross credit formula, most common, 1.5 multiplier based on 30% shared parenting threshold. 1.5 to the base support order before making an adjustment based on additional visitation to offset fixed costs of the residences when the child is not at home. Okay? Then we have a visitation credit applied in some cases in states that recognize the per diem method when deviating from the custody. Child support orders and child support orders. It's a percentage of the base child support amount and doesn't include any additional expenses. And then we have the per diem method. The parent is credited with an obligation for the number of days the child spends with the parent. It's a 20% threshold for the 1.5 base support. Maybe it's 20% in your state, or maybe, I don't know, Eric. We'll have to check on that. And then there's a Betson method, and the credit determined based on the number of overnights spent with the non-custodial parent. So those are just a few credits that you can get that can decrease, hey Marcus, that may decrease your child support amount. So, and on the article that I wrote, there's, in the references, there's links that'll tell you in more detail about these credits and these formulas. I have 30%. It might have changed. Hey, thanks for joining, David. Okay, so like I said, I'm still asking people, volunteers, to please send the candidate letter. You can email me at contact@thechildsupporthustle.com. Just put candidate letter, or you can put, if you want to send the who has jurisdiction letter, put that in the subject line, who has jurisdiction. I have a letter for that. And we're still wanting to know who has jurisdiction in these cases where they're arresting parents without their right to due process. Felix Mannis out of Pennsylvania. I've posted his story a couple of times. Okay. Okay, Eric. Okay, I stand corrected. Felix Mannis, he was in jail over $750 child support debt. Based on Pennsylvania and how they arrest parents without their right to due process, they are notorious for sweeps, as is New Jersey, as is Columbus. Ohio hasn't, well, they haven't done them in a while, but I'm pretty sure they still do them. He was in jail for 3 months on a work release program. They denied him medical access, and he died. And the family is wanting answers. And I've been tweeting to the president, wanting to know who has jurisdiction over these illegal, unconstitutional arrests when parents cannot afford child support debt, and where they are arrested without their right to due process. So I'm asking, if you have a Twitter account, Instagram, Facebook, please, and please go in and ask who has jurisdiction. Nobody wants to address this, but it could be you next, going to jail over $750 and no attorney, and denied medical attention and dead. So please, yeah, if you want to volunteer to send a letter, please email me at contact@thechildsupporthustle.com. If you want to show your support, you can buy a t-shirt or gray. You can buy the Child Support Hustle, my book full of information. You can donate. All proceeds are reinvested in the movement. Let me see. Of course, we are always trying to hold town halls, trying to do whatever we can to bring awareness to this pressing issue. And our ultimate goal is child support reform. So I hope this this live feed helped you guys. With, like I said, I have limited knowledge, but what I do know, I want to share with you all. And oh, I don't know, Shannon. I can't answer that. Yeah, New Jersey, they do those sweeps all the time, and they don't have the due process. Well, I haven't heard any state, even though Turner versus Rogers was in 2011, it said that they are required. It's the law that they have due process hearings to determine whether the parent can afford to pay or not. So we're going to keep fighting. Thanks, Chet. If you have any questions, any comments, please feel free to leave them with me or leave them here. I don't check in the comments on the posts as often as I do, or I would like to. You can always email me or send email me or send a message. Send a text message. The number is 614-344-1669. And that's it for me this evening, guys. So remember, they can ignore one, they can ignore hundreds, but they cannot ignore thousands. Thank you for your continued support. Keep fighting.